I start every single live dancing.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I think it's a nervous tick. But anyway, hello and welcome everybody to another Scrappy Hour. So excited. We decided to keep the name Scrappy Hour because, well, if you haven't been here, we do a lot of things with scraps. I don't even know where to look on this camera. We do a lot of things with scraps, with paper and fabric. And so Scrappy Hour was cute. And Bill's giving me a tissue because my nose is running. Thank you very much, honey. Oh, and by the way, hi, I'm Tori. Also, I go by Girly Girl Style across social media on Etsy. This is my partner in crime to my left.
Hello.
What's your name?
Bill. You know my name.
What's your name? And what's your role in all of this?
Get tortured by these two.
No, it's all out of love.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all out of
all
love.
that-
It's
always
all
has
out
love.
of love.
Yeesh.
So he moderates, so he will be calling up questions if we don't get to see them. Also, we are going to torture him a little and make him sew today. So if you ever wanted to see Bill's sewing skills, today is the day. And let me introduce you to my co-host, Miss Kathy Flagg. Take it away. Say hello. Introduce yourself.
Hello. So I'm Kathy, Crafty Small on the World Wide Web, Instagram predominantly. Just started my TikTok too, so find me over there. But yeah, I do just crafty things. I have an Etsy shop. I sell sublimation goods for the most part, some keychains on there as well. But my one true love is paper crafts. So that's what I'll be focusing on today for Scrappy Hour.
Excellent. And I love, love, love Kathy's paper crafts. She made this for me back here. It has her paper flowers on it. It's amazing. And if you haven't seen it already, she just did, well, what she's going to show you today, a flower bouquet that I am absolutely obsessed with. So excited.
Yes. So I have my done one right here. So this is the one that she's referring to that I just finished about a week or so ago. So I will be kind of going through some of the steps on how you make something like this.
Yikes.
Yay. So yeah, that's a really great segue into me explaining to everyone what we're actually going to do today. So for today's projects, as Kathy mentioned, she's going to walk you through how to make a floral bouquet with paper. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why is my brain not working? With paper. And we are going to be doing a really easy craft for Easter, if you celebrate Easter or spring or something like that. We're just going to make some little gift bags and or treat bags, whatever you want to call them.
Could be a coin purse.
It could be a coin. It could be many different things. But I think this time of year, treat bags are pretty relevant. And so if you haven't seen, they're a really cute little design. It just has a little drawstring. And then you have, again, in the spirit of spring, you have your little petals. So it's kind of just like a little floral bag. I also think that these, maybe not this style, there's another style we're not going to make because it's a little more challenging. And I don't think I want to put Bill through that.
No,
just
you don't.
Today.
Don't.
But I think these could also be really good bags for customers. So if you are selling anywhere on Etsy or, pop-ups, whatever, you could put if you have small products in here too. So lots of different uses for that. So those are the two projects we are going to be going through today. We'll just be chatting it up. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to pop it in the chat. I know a couple of you reached out to me and had specific sewing questions. And I said, if you pop in the live, I'll answer them because I think that this is a perfect opportunity to share knowledge that we have and answer questions in a live format. And if you're watching this in the after, what is it called when you watch it after? What's it called?
Post live.
Perfect.
It's a VOD.
If you watch it post live, you can answer some questions or ask your questions down in the comments. How late did we stay up last night, by the way? Midnight?
Like midnight?
We stayed up. Okay, we were. Ooh, for us,
Yeah,
we said it like
I made sure to go to bed on time so that I wasn't extra tired today.
You did the right choice.
You need to watch DMZ.
I need to watch what?
DMZ.
DMZ.
On Amazon? What was it on?
No, I think that's on HBO, isn't it?
Oh, was it on HBO?
I think so.
It was a show about like post-apocalyptic America.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little intense for midnight or 11, but I don't know. It was fun.
Good.
Okay, so
yeah.
dive in. First thing I do want to show everyone, though, if you haven't seen any of my TikToks or Instagram, because I've been like posting too much about these, but I am making these little covers for your drinks. So when you're outside, the bugs can't get in. They are so useful because we have tons of bugs here in Spokane, Washington. And so they are available on Etsy if you, are interested.
I love the little keychain aspect on those, by the way. So like you can just like clip it on your purse, and then you basically have your cover wherever you're going. Genius.
Exactly. And the new design that I made, I didn't do it with this one. I actually made a little cover to go over the straw, but I made a so that the loop will actually connect on here, so then you don't lose it either. Because they told me that apparently bugs will go down your straws.
You never know.
Don't use a straw.
I always use a straw.
Exactly. You guys are weird.
Exactly. All right. Well,
the only exception to the straw rule is beer. I do not drink beer out of straw.
Yeah, I agree. Or I typically don't drink wine out of straws either.
No, I don't drink wine out. Well, like now, like rosé on ice or something, like where it's more of a cocktail-y.
Yeah,
like a spritzer, I would drink that out of a straw, but not like a glass of wine. No, I wouldn't drink that out of a straw either.
If I see you with a pint of beer and a straw, I'm coming down there and we're gonna have a talk.
I hope that's a valid threat, because I might just have to post a picture.
Ooh.
You should do that next time. You should do it. So let's dive into our project. So Kathy, take it away. Show us what you're working on. Give us some tips, tricks. Take it away.
Yeah. So to start, I was going to work on the bouquet part. So I'm going to do a navy blue bouquet this time. I did a light blue one last time. So all of my pieces have been cut out. I get a lot of my paper templates. The website's called antitay.com. I've been a Crafty member of hers for years. I found her on YouTube forever ago, like when I first got my cutting machine and first started doing crafts. I found her. So I've been a member for her. I pay for it. She makes a ton of stuff, ton of templates, tons of party decor, Disney stuff, Disney inspired things that you can actually sell without trademark infringement. So I get most of my stuff from her paper wise, because she has a ton of paper craft stuff. But I looked on Etsy this morning, and there are quite a few other vendors that offer the template for the bouquet that's very similar to this one. So just do paper bouquet template in your Etsy search, and you'll probably find something very similar that give you like the same concept of this guy. So
Kathy, are you talking about like Cricut for cut out in the okay?
Yeah, so I cut it all out on the Cricut. Most templates that you can buy on Etsy, though, if you don't have a cutting machine, you can cut it by hand. I will say that would probably take a good amount of time for all the pieces for this guy, but it's totally doable. Especially like flower templates, like let's see, I don't have like big ones. I've got like one little template here. So like here's one piece of it. You could probably cut it out by hand if you wanted to. But I would use a machine if you have one.
Yeah.
So and there's the rolled flowers too, which I'll go through some rolled flowers as well. All of my flower templates are from Cricut. I actually really like theirs. So, and I wanted to make sure that I used templates that people would probably have access to if they have a Cricut. So this is, I'm trying to get it close enough so you can see it. So this is one of the paper flower templates that you can get out of Cricut.
Nice.
And you just download that to your Cricut and that's it? It's like done?
Well, I mean, it cuts it out into pieces, and then the Cricut machine doesn't assemble, so you have to do the assembly part of it. But it's, yeah, you just find your templates, you decide how big of a flower you want. So this one I think is 3 inches, which will give you a flat, like, so this turns into this.
Okay.
So to give you an idea. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to probably just start working on this. So basically how it works is this is just one little side of the bouquet, and it has a score line in it, so you know where to fold your pieces, and then you'll glue them together.
Wow.
And what do you use to glue? Are you using hot glue?
So for flowers, I, for the most part, use hot glue because it dries so quickly. So then your pieces are together. For bigger pieces like this, I like Barely Art precision glue. It's got the tiniest tip on the edge so you don't like over glue and get bubbles in your paper. You can get this on Amazon or directly through Barely Art. They sell the tiny bottle, which is a good starter one. It comes with different tips too. So if you really like this glue, you could use it for just about anything. But yeah, stuff like this, I like this glue. For assembling flowers, I use hot glue.
And do you ever use tape like like glue dots? I got some stuff that's like you put it on and it worked really well, but it was just like a flat piece of paper on another flat piece of paper.
So when I used to be really big into making like cards and matching envelopes, I really like the tape glue for envelopes, like assembling your envelopes, because then you don't have to worry about like your outer edge, like sticking to where your card goes. So there is 100,000 million different types of glue out there. You kind of just have to trial and error and decide what you like, and not all glue is equal. So I do recommend trying out a variety. But my go-to like precision glue is the Barely Art glue. Nice. I've tried a lot of glue, and this is by far my favorite.
Do you have an Amazon affiliate like link for the glue?
I don't. The only affiliate link I have right now is for my sticker paper that I really like. So Tori, if you want to order the holographic sticker paper, let me know.
Do you have that affiliate link somewhere, like in your bio?
I don't, because I need to set up a web link out of my Instagram account to go to that. It's on my to-do list. It's an April goal to have all that stuff set up so I can start being an affiliate to some of these good companies. So
I would recommend, so there's a lot of them out there, like Linktree. You probably have heard of Linktree. I use Pico Link.
Pico Link. Okay.
ICO. It's new. It's kind of like it's a startup, but they reached out to me. I'm not sponsored or anything because they're not paying me, but I found that it works really well. I use that in TikTok and Instagram, and you can put a link to your Etsy store with pictures. You can put a link to any of it. So I would check that out. It's really easy to manage. And here's the cool thing about them. I had done like a beta testing call for testers, right? And I had them put their email and name and everything in, but there was no export feature because they just hadn't created one. So I messaged them, and just said, hey, I would love it if you have this feature. 2 months later, they emailed me back and said, hey, guess what? We took your feedback and we actually incorporated it. Now you can export a CSV. So when you have something like that listen to feedback, it's great to get in.
Especially when it's a startup, so they're gonna want to know the flaws.
Exactly. So anyway, I recommend it. I enjoy it. Anyway. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm gonna get Bill started on this project.
Yay!
So here for this project, stop it. For the little treat bags, the little drawstring bags, pedal bags, you're just gonna need two.
What?
Oh, that was a pin that fell on the ground. No big deal. I'm not wearing shoes.
Neither am I.
All you need are 2 squares. That's it. 2 square pieces of fabric. They can be whatever size you want. I will tell you this size right here. I think that I did like a 10-inch. So depending on your size is going to the size of your squares is going to determine the size of your bags here. But you just need 2 same size squares. Great for fabric scraps if you have those wonky pieces that are enough to make like a 9-inch square or something like that. And then all you're going to do is you're going to get you want 2 pieces. And so this is what our bag is going to have, these 2 fabrics right here. I've already pinned it for Bill, so he doesn't have to learn that skill today.
I've done plenty of that.
It's really simple, but you're going to put right sides together. And then what you're going to do, because we're going to have Bill do this. You're going to actually stitch all the way around the bag, and you're going to leave about a 2-inch hole.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
because
easy.
you're going to want to turn this right side out. So we're going to have Bill do this.
We're making masks again.
No, we're not making masks, but I do want to show everyone a tool. So if you
that would be me.
Shut your If you are just starting out and you may not feel confident with sewing straight lines, or I've been sewing forever since I was little, and I still really love this tool. This is a magnetic seam guide, and this magnetic seam guide right here, it magnetizes right to your sewing machine, and then you can actually limit where your fabric goes. So if you're trying to get that perfectly straight line, this is going to help you, and I think this is going to make your life so much easier. It's kind of like the bumper when you go bowling.
No, you don't use. Well, you use.
Bumpers. I've never used bumpers, but I'm saying like when you're first learning to bowl, you put up the bumpers, so then you have a guide.
Just chuck it down
anyway,
the gutter.
And another great thing is we actually have a cam. What do you call that? A bill cam. So you're going to get to see him sew this time. It's very exciting.
This is horrid.
Let me
Here, you want to take this pokey out of my hand?
Okay, there's the bill cam.
That you dropped.
Where is it?
Yeah, the bill cam.
Kathy.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna move this. All right, switch me spots so I can. Oh yeah, move that tissue. You don't want to sit on my tissue. All right, make sure that everyone can see.
Are there any pokies in here?
No,
if I sit down and I get stabbed in the butt,
okay,
you're in for it.
All right. So what we're gonna do? Let me see if this is. Maybe I need to zoom in a little bit more. Kathy, do I need to zoom in more, or what do you think?
Do not zoom in.
Maybe just a little bit. I mean, I can see your hand really well, but I can't necessarily see what you're working on.
So weird. I don't know why this is looking at this. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're gonna try that. So this right here is the magnetic seam guide, and it just goes bloop, magnetized. We're gonna actually magnetize it right up to the end, or place it right up to the end
of the foot.
Well, we need to make sure it does. I mean, here, I'll put the presser foot down. There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Just to make sure.
Is that really straight?
Yes.
No, it looks crooked.
It's fine. It's exactly where we want it to be. Phil's so stressed out about this. He's such a perfectionist as well. Okay. Then what we're gonna do, okay, you're gonna put. I'm moving my hands out of the way.
Where's the thing to put it down? Is it back here?
Yeah, but you want to use your right hand to do that because you want to hold the fabric in place right there. Just leave it there, and then take the little lever back there, pull it down. Excellent. Now, before you start sewing, what I want you to do with your left hand, do you see those two threads? Those are the end tails. You want to make sure that those are out far enough. Sometimes it's a good idea to hold on to them while you do the first couple of stitches.
Seriously?
I know.
I have to like multitask with my left hand.
The reason for it, though, the reason for it is because sometimes this thread will get sucked back into the machine. So you're just holding it literally for like 2 stitches. Okay. You have your gas pedal now. Go.
Yeah, I know.
Go like 2 stitches. So hold it down for like 2 stitches, and you can put your right hand up here as well. Always want to use 2 hands when you're sewing. So hold it down. Oh, stop. Okay, now before you do anything else, I want you to push this down, and then go gentle on the thing. You're actually going backwards right now to lock in the stitch. So go. There you go. Perfect. And now let go. Okay. Now all I want you to do is sew in a straight line, and then stop when you get to about here, okay? About 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, just stop. And then we're gonna go back over to Kathy. Oh, careful. Oh, careful. Oh, careful. Okay, so see what's happening, how it's going to the right? You don't want that to happen. So you wanna use your left hand to pull it over. That's okay, we can fix it. We can fix it. So Kathy, what's your progress over there? How are you doing?
So I have got all of my bouquet pieces, and I have folded all along all of my score lines, because these little flaps on the edges is what connects all of the pieces of the bouquet. So your cutting machine, like I have a Cricut, has a scoring tool. So it creates kind of like a divot in your paper to make it easy for you to fold. And then all I do is kind of like press it down slowly with my hand to kind of get it started. And then I lay it flat. And I have this tool. It came with my paper cutter, but you can use anything with like a flat edge, and then just lay it flat on like a hard surface, and then rub this along the fold of the score line. And then it gets you a nice, like crisp bend in your paper.
That's good to know, because I thought that I had to get like a scoring tool or like a scoring. They have all these like scoring machines that like.
You can. I mean, if you're like really into card making and whatnot, you probably have something that scores paper for you. That's like the We Are Memory, I think is the brand, does a lot of that stuff. But if you bought a Cricut machine, it came with like a scoring either pen or a scoring wheel. Most of them come with something that's part of your toolkit.
Yeah.
So I like the like stylus scoring pen because it goes in slot A in your cutting machine, where slot B is where your blade goes.
Wait,
so,
what?
Yeah.
Okay. I have one of these. No, don't get up. You're not done. You are not done.
I'm getting up.
You're not done.
So this is the scoring pen that typically comes with your like toolkit, like the entry toolkit that you get. So this goes in the first slot, like where they tell you, like if you watch tutorials on pens, like to write with your Cricut, this actually can go in slot A. And so then you don't have to change out your tools when you're scoring and cutting paper. It'll do it all at once.
Okay, I'm like blown up. I thought that was for after. Like I thought you had to manually do that.
No, so I do use this manually to like add some texture to leaves, because you know, like if you look at a real leaf, it has like the line down the center, and so I'll do that to help like get a little fold or a little crease into the leaf. I'll do that, but this actually can be used in the machine. You just have to change the tool. So your Cricut will always default to the scoring wheel, which is what you have to put in where your blade typically goes. But if you click on edit tools when you're in that like make it process, you can change it to the stylus, and this can stay in A and your blade can stay in B, and it'll just do whatever it needs to do and you don't have to switch any tools out.
You just taught me something amazing.
So it's a time saver for sure. Because I mean, typically when I'm cutting stuff, especially like things like this that'll take a little bit to cut, it's like that's a lot of back and forth when you have so many pieces that have both score lines and cut lines. That takes forever to switch your blade out to the scoring wheel. So if you use this instead, you get a score line still, and you don't have to switch out any of your tools.
Love it. Love it. So what we're going to go back to here really fast is, so the fabric is a little to the right. So I'm just going to show you how we're going to fix this. We're going to pull the needle out. So you turn the wheel towards you to pull the needle out. Now we got a little off course here.
A little.
But here's the thing. So all we're going to do is go back to where our stitches are. And we're just going to stitch right over. Here's the thing. I want you to slow down with that pedal though. So pretend like you're driving a car and it's the first time. So
that was a long time ago. So
do a couple of stitches. And you want to keep the fabric. So this isn't going to hold it like really hard. So you're using your fingers. So now stop. Now take this, hold that down, and then just do a couple stitches. Stop. Okay. Now go again. And then you're just going to hold on to the fabric so that'll continue to give you a straight line. Pull it that way a little bit. No, pull it that way a little bit. So what's happening is the fabric is turning this way, so you need to like use your left hand.
It's not straight.
That's okay.
Either.
Well,
the fabric isn't straight.
So go a couple more, like one, and if okay, go two more. Okay, now stop there. Now we're on a corner. When you do a corner, you're gonna lift up the lever. Okay, take your whole fabric and pivot it to this side over here. Perfect. And then you put your presser foot back down. There you go. And then you're just going to, again, and go slow. Now, here's something else. If you want to get the hang of this without the pedal, I do a lot of stuff manually. So if you want to just see how this goes, like you can do this, pull it towards you. And now this is the manual version. So if you just want to.
No.
Okay.
I gotta get used to this.
Okay. So you do that. I'm popping back over here. Checking in with Kathy. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's having a great Sunday today.
Down to the man at work.
Down straight and like we did before. Excellent. That looks so much better. Great job. Great job.
So one tip, if anybody does decide to go and download a template for the bouquet, when I was making my first one, I realized it was really, it made it a lot easier to connect all of the center part here first with all 6 sides of the bouquet before doing the top or the bottom. It's completely straight here, whereas everything else is going to be at an angle. And so to make sure all your pieces line up like perfect, I just thought it was a lot easier to be able to work on this small little center part and glue all of those parts together and then go back to do your angled up and your angled down parts. Just as a tip, if anyone decides to do a bouquet.
Smart tip. See, you totally have the hang of it. You got it. It's this easy. And you're going to keep going because you want to be like 1/4 of an inch because we're sewing it about a foot. Stop. Perfect. Make sure the needle's in, which it is, but always make sure the needle's in because if not, it'll slip all over the place. Now, this corner or this one right here, we're going to do a little different because we need to make sure we still have a hole to turn it right side out. So what you're going to do is you're going to stitch to about here and then back stitch. Oh, put your foot down. Oh, sorry, I said scratch you. Teach him Bill to sew. He's actually doing a great job, though. Doing a great job. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Yep. And then just back stitch a couple stitches, like 3. Okay. Now, manually pull towards you to pull the needle out. We're going to do something really, other way, but that's okay. You're fine.
You said pull it out.
No, pull towards you. There you go. So now what I want you to do is pull the fabric that way. Okay. Or take your presser foot up. Sorry. And then you're going to pull the fabric about 2.5 inches. So it doesn't have to be precise, just so you have a hole that you can turn right side out. So I would pull it a little bit more. Yep. And you're pulling the thread with it. And then you're going to put it down and then you're going to stitch and then back stitch again. So do like 4 stitches. Okay. And then back stitch. Perfect. Okay. And then now you're just going to go all the way to the end and then back stitch at the end. Okay, keep going till you get to where that, so it kind of aligns with that last white line right there. Okay, stop, back stitch. Okay, now pull it manually, but turn it towards you so the needle's out. Lift up the presser foot. And then one other thing I'm going to teach you today, pull this with the thread, just gently. Okay, and then this right here, this is a thread cutter. So if you don't have scissors, you could actually take these and put them over that and then pull it down and it'll cut the thread. Well, you have to hold both sides, sorry, because it's in. Done. Look at that. You sewed your first thing.
Woo!
All right. Well, let's pop back over here. We'll take a look and we'll continue the process here. Nice. How'd that feel?
Odd.
It felt odd.
I don't have a knife in my hand, so everything's going to feel odd.
So, I mean, you did a great job. Sewing is one of those things. People get so nervous about sewing that they're going to make a mistake or it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't.
I already did that.
You did. But that's the thing is once you make the mistakes, you get to feel like more empowered because now you know how to go back and fix them.
I think that's with everything new, right? Like people fear trying something new in general because of the fear of failure, messing up. So.
Exactly. That's why just getting in there and doing it is so, so many people are afraid. It's just like, just sew, just make mistakes.
Well, yeah, mistakes are how you learn, right? Trial and error.
Exactly. So now that we've done this piece, I won't make you do any more if you don't want to.
No.
She's such a nice teacher.
He's ready. He's like, it's the thing. I'm doing it. I'm like, excellent. So I'm just taking out the needles that we had in here, and then I'm going to trim just those extra threads. We don't need to have them. And then what we're going to do where is that one? I'm just going to fix this one thing really fast just because I just want to make sure that you're Where is, let's go here. Just want to make sure that they were connected. So if you have thread lines that aren't connected, it'll be a issue. Do you want to learn how to use a seam ripper?
I know how to use a seam ripper.
I'm just going to seam rip this really fast. This is where it went a little sideways. So all we're doing is pulling out a couple of these threads just to make sure that it's going to go the right way. So Kathy, what else have you been working on? So you have these paper products or projects. What else have you been?
So Etsy wise, I have quite a few things up for Mother's Day. I tried to get ahead of the game for that one. So a lot of mom mugs, a lot of mom life stuff. Some mom wristlet keychains that are great for keeping all of your keys on, and then they're easy to find in the bottom of your purse or diaper bag or whatnot. So Etsy wise, that's pretty much what I've been doing. And then I sell plant themed tumblers at my friend's local plant and floral shop here in Washington as well. So I restocked her just a week or so ago. But outside of that, I've just been, as we've talked about before, paper crafts are kind of my jam. It's what I like to do. That's my actual crafting hobby, not my crafting side hustle is paper crafts. So I've been prepping for my daughter's 4th birthday party. Her birthday is the beginning of June. She's going to be 4, and she was really into princesses. So I've been kind of doing more design stuff for that so I can get ready to cut it all out. But I'm going to do a cake topper with all the princesses. I'm going to do a birthday banner with princess theme. So just working on some party stuff for that. The design part kind of takes me a while because that's not my area of expertise. I like to do it, but I'm slow. So I'm getting a jump start on it now.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Are you going to post it on Instagram?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I've got the banner for sure is all designed. It's pretty cute. I downloaded one of the Disney theme fonts, so it kind of has a full Disney princess vibe to it. And then the cake topper is almost done. I'm kind of doing a castle with some of the princesses on that. I got pretty excited. A friend asked if I could do a Little Mermaid cake topper for her daughter a couple months ago. And so that's posted on my Instagram, but that was so much fun to make. So I thought, well, why don't I do all the Disney princesses for Nora's birthday?
Nice.
So.
I love it. It's a great idea. So I want to see you make some flowers.
Okay, I can switch gears. But anyways, this is kind of the start of the bouquet, just so people can kind of see. I'm trying to chat and make eye contact with the camera, or else this would go a little bit faster. So.
Exactly. It's always harder because I know I'm like, wait, do I want to stop and pause?
Yeah.
Okay.
So which flower do you want me to make? Do you want me to make a layered flower like this one and go through the steps for this? Or do you want me to work on a small little rolled filler flower?
Let's go the rolled one because I think that's a little different the layered one. And I'm gonna have be what I want you to do is you're gonna cut these corners. Don't cut the thread, but you're cutting the corner. The reason it's called clipping the corner. So then that way when you turn it right side out, we can get a sharp corner. Although this one's rounded. Hold on. Let me just edit just a little. All right. So what tool do you use for those rolled flowers? Do you use a special?
For the rolled, sorry, I went rogue. I wanted to finish this last little piece on this. Oh. So for the rolled flowers, there are quilling tools that you can use. I am a firm believer you probably already own something that can do what you need it to do. Yeah. So I don't own a quilling tool. I just use tweezers that again came in my Cricut starter kit. I think most people get these when they get a machine. So that's what I use. So this is from Design Space. One thing you kind of have to work on is deciding how big you want them. I like to use rolled flowers kind of as fillers. So this is, I believe, 3 or 3.5 inches like across, and it makes just the tiniest little flower. So if you want this to be bigger, you have to make this bigger. If you look at the bouquet I made before, there's a rolled flower here. This one's like about 6.5 inches. So it gets a little bit bigger.
Paper does that take? You need to do like a 12-inch. Is it like a 12-inch piece of paper, or do you even know?
Yeah, so I mean, you can use the 8.5 by 11 craft paper. I like 65-pound cardstock for my flowers because it gives you the durability to be able to like add some definition, like rolling it, like kind of beating, like, you know, adding some dimension to the petals. But it's still like easy to move. If you get up to like the 80-pound or even like the 100-pound cardstock, it's really hard to like roll it without it like looking kind of bulky.
Gotcha.
So 65 is my ideal cardstock weight. I also, when you're practicing, just buy the cheap stuff so you can figure out how it works. Just make sure your weight of your paper is like a good weight, but it can be patterned paper. It could be, you can make them out of wrapping paper. I mean, you could do anything. Just when you start making them like officially and you want them to look really nice, make sure you get solid core cardstock. What that means is that the color goes all the way through the cardstock. There's a lot of cardstock out there that has white core. So when you cut it, you have this white edge all the way around it. So then when you go to roll your flowers have this white edge to it. And to me, it looks weird. Maybe someone out there likes that, but that's just my pro tip for paper. So anyways, yeah, you just cut this out. This one's from Design Space. Cricut has a ton. If you search 3D flower in your image search, hundreds of rolled flowers, layered flowers, all of it will pop up. Nice. But you want to start from the outer part of your circle. And then all I do is just clip the edge as close as you can to the edge with your tweezers. And then you just start to roll around. Sorry, I'm trying to do this. I'm left-handed, so this might just seem backwards to a lot of people. But yeah, you just roll, and then I don't keep it on the tweezers too long. It's just like until about there. And then I take it off the tweezers, and then I roll it by hand. So I just kind of pinch the flower part, and then I have my roll, and then you just roll it. It doesn't have to be super tight because you will release some of it, but you just want to try to keep it as like flat in your fingers as you roll it around. So then you just do that.
Glue as you go. Do you glue at the end?
I glue at the end. So some people glue as you go, but to make sure that like you get the look that you want of the flower, like I like mine a little bit loose. Like this one, you might not be able to see it, but I put a little gem in the center of this one. So I rolled it tight, but then I kind of release part of it to open it up.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because so if not, here, let's just get this one rolled so I can show you.
All right. Do you want to try to use this?
No.
Okay.
I like your honesty, Bill.
I'm poking out the corners using
I used my finger.
I know. But when you use what do you call this? Corner poker? That's what I'm going to call it. Corner poker. It gets sharper edges, and we want sharper edges for this project. But you don't want to go too hard because I poke it through all the time.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to use that thing.
Okay. Now I'm gonna press this while Kathy's going on to the next.
Yeah, so I've got it rolled. I know it's really hard to tell, but it's all rolled to give you an idea. And then all I do is kind of just, maybe this way. I just like kind of let it release a little bit so that it loosens up. And then that's kind of like what you'll end up with.
Wow.
And then there's the little back flap, which is the little center circle of your cutout. You've got another one. So that little center circle is what you glue to the back of the flower. And so for these, I use hot glue because it dries like super fast.
Put the claw on the flower for too long.
Huh?
It dries so fast you don't have to hold it forever.
Correct. Yeah. So that's kind of the perk of hot glue. And then, yeah, then you don't have to sit there and hold it and count, your 100 Mississippis or whatnot, waiting for glue to dry.
Yep.
100 Mississippis.
And then once your flower's all assembled, you can use your finger. I mean, depending on how big your flowers are, the bigger they are, you could use like a tool of some form. But you kind of just press the petals out so that it's not all bunched up. And like this is kind of the perk of using like a heavier weight cardstock is they're pretty durable.
Manipulate a little better without worrying about tearing it.
Correct. So you can kind of fold the petals back a little bit to give it a little bit more definition.
Red. I really like the red.
Well, good. Yeah, actually, so if you look at my finished bouquet, I used a patterned vinyl as the blocks on the bouquet. And so the reason, oh boy, there we go. So the reason I'm using these colors is because this is going to be my blocks on my bouquet.
Okay, so that's printed vinyl. I didn't know that was vinyl. I thought it was paper.
So you can use paper. I have quite a bit of patterned vinyl though, so I was like, it's kind of easy to pull the inspiration for the flower colors from some of these. So, but you can use paper. It could be like solid on solid. I mean, like that's the perk of paper projects is it can be whatever color you want it to be.
Oh, God, here we go again.
Bill's jumping in the driver's seat once again. Okay. So this is what we're going to do now. So I've pressed the edges. Bill turned it right side out. So what you missed is he clipped the corners and then he turned it right side out. Now we're just going to stitch all the way around. We're calling this a top stitch because it's a 4. It's the longest stitch. It's just decorative, purely decorative. However, it's going to seal up that hole we had and it's going to give it more shape.
All the way around.
We're going to go all the way around. Now, what I want you to, for this time, not to hold the fabric so much, kind of just use it as or guide it through, but we want to start about right there. And I'm all the way over to the right. Okay. We have another tool I'm going to give you. All right. So here's another tip, especially if you want to get straight lines. This right here, where is this? This right here is an overlock foot for a sewing machine. Now, we're not doing an overlock stitch. An overlock stitch usually is what you use to finish a seam. However, because it has this nice little metal divider here, you can actually push your fabric right up to there and get really great edge stitches without going off the fabric. So it works as an additional tool as opposed to just being an overlock foot. And that's what we are going to switch to. I use this too. Again, all these tools that I'm sharing, that I'm suggesting Bill use, it's not just because he's new to this, it's because they actually do work. All right. So
do you have an Amazon store or anything that all your recommended sewing stuff is at?
I do. Yeah. My Amazon affiliate link is in my Pico link, and they're all divided up into like sewing crafts, or if I have a specific craft, they'll be there as well. So yeah, everything that I use is there. So great call out, Kathy. Thanks. I always forget. Bill always tells me, he's like, don't forget to tell people. Okay, I know.
So
well, it's easy to forget.
Gonna run on that little piece right there. Right?
Yes. So and again, don't push it against it and go slow. So if it's easier the first couple of stitches, you could always try doing manually. No. Okay, but go really slow. So, oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, no, you're good. Go try to do 2 stitches. So 1, 2. Okay, stop. See how fast that goes? Take your reverse and then again, just 2 stitches. Okay, now you're just going to follow down till you get to the end, which is actually going to be pretty close to the end. And then you're going to go all the way around. And you just want to make sure it doesn't go off the edge. So let me stop for a second. I'm going to adjust our needle. Okay, I just moved the needle to get it a little bit over, maybe a little over, and a little. Okay, cool. So I'm going to let you take this. Let me know if you get stuck on anything. But yeah, keep this. Yep, against that little metal piece. And don't hold on to the fabric. Let it go, because if you hold it, it's going to Not be happy. Okay. And now this is where you might need to use your finger just to get down to that corner. Okay, there. Now lift, turn. Cool, you got this. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let Bill take this. I think he's on a roll. So we're gonna let him take it here.
Yikes.
So did you start the other flower, Kathy?
Nope. So for the other flowers, so this is the image that comes out of Design Space. The one tidbit is that it does take a little bit of trial and error to decide how many layers you like in your flowers and what size you like. But once you know what you want, like the actual like circumference or, you know, sizing of the flower that you want, that's the size that you'll make your largest petal. So for a flower like this, I do 6 layers. So I did 2 layers at 3 inches, and then I did 2 layers at like 2.7 inches, and then I did 2 layers at 2.5 inches. So that's kind of what gives you that like layers and like some, you know, definition of your flower to make it look like flowers look. So when you cut out all of your layers, you want to kind of curl the petals a little bit to give it a little bit of definition. So a lot of people, if you Google paper flowers on YouTube or you look through Instagram or even on TikTok, a lot of people use dowels, like a small round dowel to do it. Yeah. Again, I like to just use what I already have. So I just use a small paintbrush.
Oh yeah, paintbrush will work.
Yeah, so paintbrush will work too. So all I do is you kind of just put the paintbrush or dowel kind of center, and then you just use your fingers to kind of curl it around. Hard to do this midair. So kind of like that.
Okay, yeah.
And then it kind of gives it just a little bit of definition. And so you just do that to all of the petals, to all of the layers.
And do you alternate the direction, or is it all going the same direction?
So I think it depends on the flower, and it depends on what you want it to look like. For something more like this, I like the kind of the consistency that all of the petals are kind of go in the same direction. But like for a shape more like this one, it might be a little bit fun to change up the direction and maybe do different layers. Actually, just a tidbit that I saw yesterday. I think it was on Instagram Reels. Someone was making paper flowers, and I thought it was really cool because I've always just layered all of my flower layers on top of each other. Yeah. But this gal took like another layer, the same size as the bottom layer of the flower, and she put it the opposite way on the bottom, and it made her flowers kind of look a lot fuller. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so are we done with the top stitch? So I'm gonna pull it forward just because we want it there. And then we're gonna do 2 back stitches just to finish it off. But you gotta I would hold the fabric, not hold it, but just touch it. And then one more. Okay, cool. Now up, pull your needle, or yeah, if you don't want the needle in the fabric, it'll break if you do that, and then pull it. Perfect. And then take your scissors, and I want you to cut the threads as close to that fabric as you can. He's doing a great job, everybody. Okay, wonderful. How are you feeling?
It wasn't too bad. No.
Okay, so now you're going to do something. We're going to pull it up. Now, with this project, and we can trim off any of these loose threads. With this project, whichever color you want the petals to be, so like, for example, on this one, if you want the petals to be this, then this is what is going to show when you turn it. So if we do this, these are going to be the petals. So which side do you want to be the petals?
These.
Okay. So we want to get even corners all the way around, and I would just finger press them right now because we don't want it to be like that. We just want it. So I would maybe a little too far in, pull out a little bit. There you go. And then finger press. And that just, yep. So put your finger over that with the heat a couple times and then pull the other corners in. And you just want to get them so that they're even. Cool. And just pull them all in, and then we're going to press them. That'll hold them in place. So you're getting like that perfect square in the center. So at this point with this project that Bill's working on, again, it's just straight lines. It's just sewing in a square, sewing in a square, and then what he's going to do next is sew in a square.
So do you sell these little gift bags on Etsy, or do you sell the templates, or?
I don't. It's funny. This is one of the products that I actually haven't sold. I feel like it's, you know, it's one of those that I encourage people to make themselves because it is such a great beginner project and you don't need a pattern for it. So even if you're someone that hasn't sewn like Bill or someone that is a seasoned professional, I mean, you can do this project so quickly. Okay. But I think that I may, if I have more time in the summer, put some up on Etsy just because I've had some requests. But I mean, again, thinking about how much I would have to charge, because again, having a small business, you know, does it make sense to work on a project that's only going to net you $1? I don't know.
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
That looks pretty darn good. You just want it to be like, it has to be perfect. So now I want you, our iron is on, and I want you just to press all the way around. So hold all those in place so they don't move, and then press all the way around. Oh yeah, you've never used the little mini iron. And essentially this crease is just going to hold them in place so you don't have to pin. I prefer doing it this way.
I really like the bill cam. I think the bill cam has to stick around.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. And he's doing such a good job. I'm so proud of his sewing skills.
You're in trouble, Kathy.
I mean, I'm trusting him to my sewing machine. So, I mean, that's a big thing. Okay, are you ready for this is the last step before we add the drawstring. Okay. You ready? Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to come back over here and we're going to sew. We want to do, let me adjust these stitches for you again. It can be a decorative stitch. We're going to remove this because we don't want this presser foot. We're going to swap back in our Jaguar. This presser foot, by the way, is called the Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Nice.
In case anyone's wondering, I don't know. It came in a pack of. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. So let's do. Let me see. That might be correct. I want to kind of do a 3/8 inch. So put that in there just for me so I can see where I just need to.
Where am I?
Oh, right there. Probably good. There. Does that look? That's pretty good. What we're trying to do is create a casing for the drawstring. So you don't want it to be too small, but also you want it to, you know, be big enough that you can get it through. So you're going to do a couple stitches in the back stitches. So pretty much with almost every project, you're going to start and stop, but always just do like 2, but that's okay. Okay, perfect. And then you're going to go down here and just stitch to your, like right here. You're going to pivot. Stitch you right there, pivot, and you're just going to go all the way around again. And then you have to lightly holding the fabric, just guiding it through. And then I'll do a couple more, maybe one more. And you can always, you can always use this. I use this all the time for the manual piece. And then if you rotate it and you haven't gone far enough, you can always turn the fabric back, but that looks like it's perfect. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to let you keep going. I love that.
So I've added, you know, I've kind of curled all of my petals on all 6 pieces. So now I'm ready to assemble. So the bottom one that I'm going to use, I kind of try to like flatten back out just a little bit, at least the center part. And that's what I lay flat on my surface. And then the second piece, which is the same size as that one, I kind of just curl it. So like that, because then it gives you a nice bottom to put your hot glue on.
Nice.
So then I can hold it and put my hot glue on it.
Oh, and then the petals will just fall down.
Yeah. And then you just, I mean, when you're putting it down, you just kind of want your petals to be somewhat offset so that you make it look like a flower, like a real flower would. And then you've got your start of your flower.
It looks so, I love it so much.
And then you just go to the next size and you kind of just repeat that. So again, like I just kind of fold all the petals in so that it kind of looks like that. Okay. And it gives you that bottom to be able to put your hot glue on. And then you just do that for all 6 layers.
I mean, I love flowers. I'm just like obsessed with this. And I want to do this. I just feel like I don't have time to make these flowers because I would rather be sewing. So that's why I was commissioning you to make me some flower bouquets. And that's why I'm telling you, I feel that it's something that people will purchase because I would absolutely pay for a flower bouquet.
I think my only hesitancy of it is how on earth do I ship something like this?
Box in a bag. You put a box in a bag. That's it.
Yeah.
Because the shipping is cheaper if you put the box in the bag.
That's true.
Okay, Bill says he thinks he's done. Oh, your extra threads. I do love having this little camera here to watch Bill. This is nice. Just those threads on the floor. Yep, because I have a vacuum that will come get all those. It's so weird. Lily left us a long time ago. I'm afraid what she's doing upstairs. Okay, now the last step. Are you? My pants are undone. Well, not like undone, but like. All right. So we are going to take a thread of some kind, string of some kind. This is going to be your drawstring. I'm just using butcher yarn. What do you call this?
Butcher's twine.
Butcher's twine because it's easy. And then you just want to gauge. I feel like I'm not even going to cut it just yet. Another tool that you will always need is a safety pin. So you are going to
poke yourself in the hand.
Because I'm not even doing this on camera. Nope, you're just putting this through, okay? Because this will make it easy. And then you're going to put it through the casing. And then you're just going to put it all the way around until you get to the end. You've done this before. You put in drawstrings.
Yep, but I usually have something to poke the thing with.
Yep, just like that. Yep, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, it's like putting a drawstring.
It's like putting a drawstring in.
That you don't have drawstrings in.
Yes. Yes. I realized I had this YouTube friendly music mix. I realized I didn't put it on. I was like, oh, and yeah, should have been something I did first.
That's okay. The sound of the machine. That's what we got to listen to.
And Bill's almost done with this. Like, this is how easy the project is. It is such an easy project.
That's love perfect.
It. And then with the drawstring on this, it's a little complicated. One of the things I found that people had challenges with when I showed it on TikTok in a 15-second video was the difference between having one string and having two.
Oh.
What? Oh, did the thing come out? You can fix it. Because having two strings means that you can get that nice, clean pull. Like on this one, which is a little bit different shape, you can actually pull both strings and it pulls in on itself. If you only had one, then you're doing a lot of manual work. So,
gotcha.
But I love this. A little different design. This one is my favorite design, but a little more challenging.
And the flower is complete. So I just added a little center. The centers you can find in Design Space or on Etsy as well. They usually look like this when you cut them. One thing that I do is I put it in my palm, like where your palm starts to make like a little cup. Put it there. Use your dowel or your paint stick and kind of do this in the center, and it'll help start to make it more circular, and it bends the little pieces up. Okay. And then you can use your paintbrush to kind of curl them in. This one's kind of spidery, but so then when you go to put it into the center of your flower, it kind of already has the shape of the center of the flower. So then these kind of stick up instead of laying flat.
That's awesome. And so this is a really great, again, going back to the whole Scrappy Hour thing, this project, these little flowers, I mean, this seems like it would be really great for using up your scraps.
Oh, yeah, especially the round ones, right? Because these round flowers, you can decide how big they are. Do you have a 6-inch piece of scrap paper? Do you have 5-inch? Do you have a 4-inch? You can kind of manipulate the size of your flower to match whatever scrap you have. So actually, all of the red and white were all cut out of scrap that I had. And then all of these these centers are super easy to cut out of scrap brown or scrap black or whatever, yellow, whatever you have. I did this flower yesterday. I made a paper daffodil.
Oh, I want to make one of those.
So this is from Cricut Design Space. This is one of their paper projects that they have. So, and I made this completely out of scrap. I just had some yellow left over. So, but yeah.
Oh, I need to make a daffodil. I got at Trader Joe's yesterday. I got a daffodil plant and I got a peace lily. And then I bought 2 lavender plants at a clothing shop. I bought a lot of stuff yesterday.
Good for you. Everyone's got to shop sometimes.
I mean, the plants were very needed. I think that spring is not yet here. We're still having winter. We had like a light snow dusting last week, so I can't plant anything, but I can at least things.
I just planted like flowers in pots out front just last weekend because spring is more or less here. So
we just have to fake spring. It's so sad. Okay, are you done? Okay, yay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the string off. Yeah, I would use these because it's a little thick. Oh my gosh, Bill is almost done.
Woo-hoo!
Good. And then what I want you to do is you're going to take off, just pull it a little bit. You're going to tie this just like this. Does that make sense? So you're tying it together. Yep, just like that. That's exactly the type of knot you're looking for. Oh, I just heard Lily. She got off the sofa finally. I don't know. And then you're going to do the same process on the other side. There. So how many flowers do you typically make in like that bouquet? How many flowers were in there?
I think there's like 10. So the original one that I made, that's all rolled flowers. That most of those designs came with the boutique or the bouquet template.
Okay.
But my favorite flowers to make are the layered ones. These ones are a little bit bigger. So I think I'm shooting for like 8 flowers. Well, like 6 big flowers and then some little filler rolled ones for this next bouquet. But I think if you wanted to like make it look like a traditional like dozen, you could do that. You just have to size it out right.
Okay, that makes sense. So then you're just going to go this side and you're going to go, because you're on the opposite side, and you're just going to go all the way around again.
Again?
Yes. But because we're at the hour and I'm sure we have other things to do, I do want to show everyone what Bill's work looks like. We're going to put one more drawstring in, but this is how it's going to work when you pull. So look at your work. Are you ready? When you pull the drawstring, we'll have the second one in there. Careful, don't get hurt by those scissors. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get these little petals, and then this is going to be the little base here. So nice job, babe. You did a great job. I'm going to have you keep doing this and finish that up because.
Go out.
Okay, or you're going to. Oh, I guess Lily's coming to say it's time to go. You don't want to say goodbye?
Oh, thanks, Kathy.
He's like, I'm out now. So, Kathy, thank you so much again for joining. I'm actually going to take that cam out. I love these projects.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michelle, hello. I know we're just wrapping up, but you can go back and watch. Thanks for popping in. But we're going to do another one of these. I feel like our cadence, our plan was to do one a month, I think. And then it's kind of like one a quarter. We'll see as it gets warmer though, maybe we'll do more. It depends. Yeah.
We should just do a duo TikTok live.
I think we should do TikTok live as well. I feel like that is so much fun. I totally agree with that. But everyone, hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. If you're watching this in the after, I still don't know what I'm saying, after the live. Let us know if you tried either of these projects, if you enjoyed them, if there's a project you want us to try during our next Scrappy Hour, let us know. Fabric or paper, we're down.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Reach out. Leave questions below. Find us on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. If there's something you guys want to see us go live with, just let us know.
Exactly. We're down. We love it. We're easy. All right. All right, everybody. Until next week. See ya.